All right, so one of the things I've been doing since I have been unemployed is trying to fill my day with hobbies and activities that I want to reconnect with, and one of them is art. So I in my monthly calendar have on Tuesdays and Thursdays that I want to art journal. I used to love drawing as a kid. I was a huge anime manga fan, and quite literally being in middle school and still struggling with dyslexia, it was this will be my career. And then I stopped drawing in high school and didn't pick it up again. And so now I'm just trying to rekindle that passion and love for sitting in my room for hours and drawing. And so we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna do some art, and I wanted to take you guys with me. So okay, so while I am waiting for my paint to dry, I want to tell you about my next DIY that I want to work on. So I have this shelf, and it's been in my family for, it feels like generations. At least my dad grew up having this shelf in his room. It was my grandmother's, I think. I grew up, it was literally in my nursery. And then 5 years ago, when I was moving in with my boyfriend, my parents were like, you want this shelf? And at the time, I had been stripping paint off of furniture for the first time and getting into that. And so my mom helped me strip the paint from this piece. I'm gonna see if I have pictures of this piece to show you what it looked like prior. It's had a long life. It's been used in many different ways. I think at one point it was a room divider. My dad's and my grandmother used it as a bar. And she hammered a bar top on top, so there's a million little nail holes on the top. So anyway, it's been sitting in my house with the paint stripped but not finished for 5 years now. It is a big project. I find when I'm doing furniture pieces like this, it takes a lot of time because stripping the paint is a huge process. It takes about a few days to get all of the stripper off, and then the next stage is sanding, which is the stage that I'm at right now. And sanding takes a lot of work. In my experience, it takes 3 hours of sanding per side to get it to like fresh blonde wood. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna try and film myself sanding and getting it to like brand spanking new quality. And I think that's all I'll probably do for this video, because like I said, when I am flipping furniture pieces like this, it does take a lot of time. Like I said, I'll probably just start off this week by doing just the sanding job and really just getting it back to its like bare bones. And then from there, we'll start with staining and like really putting it in its final stages. So I am excited to get working on it. It's finally like not brutally hot, so I'll be able to do it outside. I usually do it out on my patio or on my balcony. And my mom lent me a sander. She had like a smaller sander than mine, so we're gonna use that to get into some of the smaller, tighter shelves on the unit. So yeah, we'll get working on that soon. Till then, the adventures at the park continue. Let's go check out the book sale at the library.
If you don't mind getting the 45s from over there, let's bring them back here.
All right, so I'm back from the park, back from the library, took a shower, but I wanted to show you what I bought at the book sale. First, I got this book. I'm a big like romance fiction girly. This sounded interesting. It was one of like on my summer bucket list to like read a hard copy book. I listen to a lot of books because I'm dyslexic, but I wanted to try reading a hard copy book. And so I thought this would be a nice start. So yeah, got this book. It's called Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune by Rosella Lim. So excited for her. And then my boyfriend's cousin is having a baby, and they requested that like folks give them as gifts like their favorite children's books when they were from when they were kids. So I also got a bunch of books at the book sale. Great pricing. So, but the first is probably like the cutest and I'm most excited about. It's these 4 books, like and it's Babar, and I think it's like the Babar and Celeste series. If you know them, they're like the French elephants. And so it's these mini little books. There's one for earth, fire. Look at the fire one. I think it's cute. And then there's earth, fire, water, and air. And I thought they were like perfect for like, you know, sometimes when parents, maybe not with like babies, but like when your kid's like a toddler or something and you're out and you just need that like small book to like throw in your bag of like tricks to entertain them. I was like, these would be perfect, and they're so adorable. I like secretly almost want to keep them for myself. So we'll see if they make it into the gift pile, but I thought they were adorable, and they're just like such a cute little size. Here, this is the earth, and then I'll show you water and like the insides. Look at that. So very, very cute find. Another book that I read, and so like being Latina, being rubia Nina, like I grew up with a lot of my childhood like things in Spanish. So a lot of these books for me were in Spanish, and like this book specifically, I remember we had this in Spanish. We might have had an English version as well. The Story of Ferdinand by Monroe Leaf, drawn by Robert Lawson. And so like this was definitely a book I had in Spanish as a kid. It's, I think, pretty well known. I think they even made like a animated film about it recently, which to me like is horrifying, but this book was one that I remember reading as a kid, had it in Spanish, and was like, I hopefully don't think many other people will be gifting this book, so I thought it'd be a good one as well. Mr. Ferdinand, the bull, so cute. This is another book that I had as a kid. I just remember the art being like so memorable in this book. Like this little scene where he's like peeking his little ears out when they find him. Let me find that scene. This scene. Oh my gosh, I remember her. She was so cute. Little corduroy. So this was also one that when I saw it in the book sale, I was like, definitely getting that one. This is another one where I feel like it's more niche. I didn't, know many people. Well, I don't know, maybe you did read this book, but it's The Quilt Maker's Gift. This is a book that my mom loved to read to me. It's a wonderful book all about like this quilt maker who she makes like the most beautiful quilts, and she refuses to sell them to the rich and will only go and give them to people in need. And so like the story follows her and this king who like desperately wants her quilt, and essentially she like teaches him that like he should be giving away his wealth to those who really need it rather than like using it for selfish means. And so he like ultimately learns this lesson and like gives away all of his treasures. And once he like finally understands how meaningful it is to like give back, and like he's like totally changed his life perspective on it, she gifts him a quilt, and then like they like become a duo, and they like help people who are in poverty together or whatever. So I loved this book as a kid. The art is really beautiful, and I thought, I don't think this is a class, like to me it's a classic. I don't think it's very well known, so I feel like the odds of someone else gifting this book to this child are low. So that's another one that I was like, when I saw it, I was like, gotta get it. And this last one, it's called Make Way for the Ducklings. The reason I remember this is because it takes place in Boston, and when I was little, like we went to the like park where they go in this book, and there's actually like, if you've ever been there, or maybe you're from Boston, like they have little like bronze statues of these ducks. And actually I don't know if this is like based on a true story, now that I'm like, is there a reason why, or is it just like to honor this author? I wonder if it says, in Boston, statues of Robert's ducklings are a popular attraction for children and adults alike. Okay, see, I don't know why they're there, but they are there, and I thought that was cute. I like remember reading this book as a kid, and I remember going to see the little bronze ducklings, so I thought I'd get it for them as well, because again, I was like, probably not many other people getting this book. So yeah, it was a successful shopping visit. Everything was like super cheap. I think for all of these books, I spent $12. So I think I definitely want to try and go back and get some more like books for myself, like romance books and stuff. I sometimes do also like to read these kind of books, and I thought it'd be good before bed instead of staring at my phone screen. So yeah. Okay, so I have my protective gear on, and I've done a lot of sanding on this patio, and we're just gonna get through it. Show you this because see this different coloration in the wood, like the stain removal process, like the paint removal, it can leave like weird colorations, and like even if I were to use wood conditioner, this like discoloration is gonna show up with any stain. So that's why I have to like really sand it down so that this discoloration goes away and it's all like one color. So I'll try to show you this spot again once I've reached that point. But just so you know, like this is why sanding takes forever. Okay. Oh, I'm so exhausted. I must have been out there sanding from, I didn't get like an early start. I think like I couldn't have been out there earlier than 9. I think it was after 10. I think let's say like I was sanding from like 10 to 1 o'clock. So like at least 3 hours of sanding happened this morning, and just woke up from a nap. So tired, like sawdust everywhere, like all in my nose, and like despite the fact that I have protective gear, it was still just like everywhere. I would really love to get a ventilator. I probably should at some point. But this is like where I'm at for today for this video. I do have to get in and do like the detail work, which is always like my least favorite part because you have to kind of do it by hand and it just takes forever. And this is when I'm like, I love doing this kind of stuff, but this is why it takes me a long time, because it's like, this took me like 3 hours of like pretty hard work, and I'm still not close to finished. And there's just like a lot of like little detail work that makes it feel like, oh, it feels like it's gonna be forever before I finish this thing. And so hopefully this video, like documenting this journey, will be a good way of like keeping me accountable and maybe making it a little more fun to do. Next time, I don't want to commit to having finished all the fine work detail, but that has to get done. I don't know if I'll do a video about it because it's probably not that exciting, but I think maybe at least the next video or the second part of this little series will be me hopefully staining. But again, I still have a lot of like pre-work to do. I wish I could just like stain it tomorrow, but it's just not there yet. So I'll be taking you along as we finish this. So thanks for joining me. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun taking you to the park, showing you my little adventures, and also finally getting going on this piece that has literally taken me 5 years to finish. And we're not done yet, but hopefully we'll be done soon.